Hey y'all. So, as you guys already know, on this channel, I like to, bring depth to our everyday real life experiences here in this community, in this society, in this world. Fascinated by world studies and cultural studies and the way people live their lives. Clearly, I'm obsessed with sociology and the environment and psychology and just the whole when you blend everything else together and what happens in a community as a result. And so this is a city ramble part two. And the event that sparked this video was sheer violence because yesterday a young woman in my community who lives a couple blocks down from me. She was 21 years old and she had a child, and her boyfriend they were in the car and they were fighting, and her boyfriend got so mad that he shot her in the head twice. So she's gone now and she's an angel now, and I needed to talk about this because we cannot allow the increased violence to make us desensitized to it. So it means that just because people are snapping their temper and dealing with different mental and psychological and emotional issues, like, that doesn't mean that the rest of the community can just sit back and fall silent and fall mute to the topics or to the issues. Clearly there are many levels and layers to the issue, and I don't know anything about their personal lives. All I know is that we have increased violence, and it's being put onto people in covert and like underground subconscious ways, through frequencies and through these devices that we use all the time. Like, that's also making the electricity in your body get shifted, and it's being manipulated and it's being changed from what it normally would be. So people are becoming more violent, and their behaviors and their personalities are spiraling out of control. And this is the result, and this is the mess that we're left to clean up with. So I was giving someone a ride and they told me this story. And it's a lot to take when you have to lose so many people at such a rapid pace. Like, another innocent man was just shot in the head as well at a grocery store, and he was an innocent man who was involved in a court case. And he's gone now too, and he was really a strong member of the community. And he was really helpful because he owned a lot of properties and he had a lot of businesses and just a lot of community ties to help community growth. So I just want to remind you guys that just because we have this increased access to violence in our movies, pop culture, music, and everyday lives, and just because we have these frequencies and stuff coming at us, and the food and the messed up water, just because you're being thrown for a loop and you're being thrown onto this roller coaster ride, that doesn't mean that you're given a pass to automatically snap and fall for that, because now his life is ruined. Her life is gone, and his life is ruined because he turned himself in, and he clearly has mental and psychological and emotional issues. And it's just like a lot of people are falling through the cracks, and they're not a lot of people who need the services are not getting the proper services, and a lot of things are backwards. Like, people who don't need the services are getting qualified for the services. People who do need the service are getting cut off from the service. So there's a lot of contradictions that I have to deal with in my everyday life, and the only other people that I have to turn to deal with these problems are other people working in the same field, other social workers, lawyers, judges, doctors. Like, these are the types of people that I have to reach out to and work with on broader teams. Like, when you're bringing in one specialist from each corner, like, I still have to deal with these people, and they are also, some of them are also, falling victim to the violence, and how to explain it, allowing that infiltration to take place, and they're like buying into it. So I have to, even within my field, I can't trust everyone even within my field, and I can't trust all of those lawyers and doctors. Just because you have that placement in society gives you zero credibility in my world. You need to really prove yourself before I'm even gonna let my client hire you as their lawyer. Like, I know how you guys play around. I know the game. I know the politicians. I know the medical game. I know the political game. Like, it's not really, I kind of feel like I still have to interview these people and kind of double check them and stuff like this. And why? That's because I was taught and shown, just because you have a high placement and just because you proved yourself on paper, well, that's completely different from your character in real life. So I let my friend do my hair, so I'm really happy with it. And this is what happens when I've been getting braids since I was like 10 years old. I remember being little and we would play basketball, and I was like, yo, I want to look like Allen Iverson. Like, I was just so obsessed with sports and such a little tomboy. Every sport that I could get my hands on, I was going for. And we were so active as kids, and it made me active as an adult as well. Like, I don't mind taking a couple workout classes every week. Like, I really do enjoy it, and it makes me feel sharper mentally as well. Of course, you guys already know this. And this is what I have to help my clients with, because some of them miss the point. Some of them are missing out on half of the deal. Like, they have their diet on lock, but they don't have their physicality on lock, and they're not really putting forth the necessary effort in the movement department. And then I have people who are the opposite. They're doing so well with their nutrition and so well with their diet, and they're not, oh wait, no, I already said that. It's the opposite. They're working out all the time, but they're slipping up with their diet, so it's like backtracking them, and it's putting them back 2 steps when they were just in the gym for 4 days a week. So there's a lot to consider, and there's a lot of things that go on emotionally behind the scenes that no one really knows about. And there's a lot of people who think that they can manipulate people. And yes, this is a ramble video, so I will just take my stance on my ramble and continue to enjoy myself here. I find that when you're a real adult, you definitely don't care at all as much what other people think. And it's not because you're an arrogant, low-level person. It's just that you know what works for you because you've seen it yourself and because you've already lived through it. So you already know how certain things are, which makes it easier to identify other hardworking people. Like, because I've put so much time in, and because I've been able to hold down multiple jobs and always working and always doing double and triple the amount of what I was expected to do, it makes it easier to identify other hard workers as well, which is the part that I really like about it now. because I thought that I was losing that whole time, but really I was just winning and learning. I was learning that whole time on how I was going to be a consistent winner. Because if you're consistent, you end up winning a lot at the end. Like it really does build up. And I'm getting to the point now where I've outgrown certain things. Like I've worked through it so much that I've hit the wall. I've hit the ceiling, rather. I've hit that ceiling, and in my field, I can't go any higher. In my field, I've already gotten all the promotions and all of the, I've already gotten all of the promotions possible in that field. So how do you expect me to stay here for longer and way longer when I have nowhere else to go? That I need to go to the next level, and I already hit the ceiling of the building. So, like, this is where you have to pull yourself out of it and take yourself, yes, you need to get the perspective. So you need to take a step back. It's kind of like in a relationship. Excuse me. My nose has been itching so much. It's kind of like in a relationship when you don't know what you have, you don't know what's right in front of you, and you don't know how precious this is what you have. So you don't understand how precious this is and how valuable this is until you walk away from it, until you step back from it. You can't see clearly. So a lot of things have to be chopped up before they can come together. The cord needs to be pulled and cut before you can really see that well-rounded growth. And you're going to have the balls, and you're going to have enough courage to jump off the cliff without seeing the net. So I've done this many times, and it's kind of like you're giving yourself a run for your own money. And I find that fascinating in the terms of growth. And that's why I know I can live in any city, in any country, under any circumstance. And for me, that's like real power right there. Like, I know in my soul, because I've already put my soul through it, that I know I can handle the city life. I know I can handle the farm life. I know I can handle everything in between. The travel life, the work life, the family life. Like, I know that I can do it. So it's just like, when you put yourself through that, putting yourself through the ringer, so to speak, if you didn't sell your soul, then you're going to be growing. And that's something to really look forward to. And that's what I look forward to, and that's what keeps me going. Otherwise, I would still be stuck in the same place with the same words, the same thoughts, the same mentality, and the things that happen to people. Like, they get stuck in different jobs, they get stuck in different relationships. Like, if it's not for your highest calling, and it's not sent from God, and it doesn't have angels attached, well then, you should just hold off and wait, and let it go. Same with jobs. If it's not working out and it's not compatible, you know when to cut the cord. Like, I can't have another contract. I cannot start another contract with the government. I'm not going to be available to do it. You have to know when to jump off the roller coaster. And when your time has been up, you need to, get on the next train. So, and you don't want to miss out on your own blessings. So you have to work up the courage to do it. And backtracking and moving backwards is not an option. Is there anything else I wanted to touch on? I don't think so. I'm looking forward to jumping off the cliff myself. I'm really looking forward to my next adventure, my next chapter. I'm scared, but I'm also very ready, and I'm overdue for change. I'm overdue for another challenge, another risk. I love mixing it up. I love throwing myself for a loop. And I also love destiny. And I feel like I'm coming into my destiny. I'm getting closer. I told you guys before, I lost my stepbrother. It threw me into a different realm. I'm losing people all around me. These people are getting shot and killed. Like, innocent people are dying all around me. And I'm not going to be depressed about it. But I'm in a different realm now. And I feel closer to my spiritual guides and my angels. And I feel closer to the Father in the heavens. Like, I really do feel like I'm not his wife. I feel like I'm his sister. Like, I feel like my father, how to explain it? Like, I do feel like his daughter in a sense, but I also feel like I'm on the similar, and this is how it's supposed to be, because you're not supposed to put him so far above you and out of reach. He wants to talk to you. He wants to come down and be able to talk to you and have you guys be equals. So that's the part of it that makes me feel like I'm his sibling. It's like we're brother and sister, and also he's my dad. And it doesn't sound right from Earth. Like, that wouldn't be right here. But that's how it feels spiritually. Like, that's how I feel as a person. Like, yes, he is teaching me, and yes, he is showing me as if he was my father, yes, and guiding me and holding my hand and stuff like that, but also it's like I'm downloading information and helping him as like a sidekick, as like a sibling, almost. And he's the one that I really work for, and all these other people are just full of shit. Not really, but I'm kind of joking a little bit, but a lot of people, majority of people here are like, I wouldn't listen to them. Let's just put it that way. And I feel completely fine and 100% good not listening to them, and not taking their advice. Like, I won't allow myself to get mixed up in your little stories anymore, you know, and have my stuff all stressed out and because this is what happens with me, guys. I get so exhausted because I take on other people's life issues as if they were my own, and their emotional stance of where they are right then and there. I take on that emotional weight of what they're going through. So I'm going through so many different things that aren't even necessarily my own, and processing them and figuring out the best alternative and figuring out the best solution, and how it can be brought up in the best possible way for this person from their perspective, while taking into consideration all the others involved as well. So it gets complicated, it gets complex, and it gets to be a heavy weight that I can no longer hold. And that I'm starting to give people back their weights. Like, I'm starting to put it back on them now, because it's been years and years of this, years and years of me holding other people's work, holding other people's life problems, emotional problems, baggage. And I'm telling you, I'm sending it back to you guys. Like, I'm not going to be able to hold it, and rather, I can't take it to my next destination. That's what it is. I cannot take it along with me because it was never mine. So I find it extremely therapeutic to let go of things. I like to let go of objects. I always donate stuff. I want to give stuff away. Like, my friends in Philly, like some of my friends in Philly know that I'm giving them stuff. Like, that I'm about to be leaving, so I'm going to be giving them a bunch of stuff, you know? Pots and pans, clothing, everything, mattresses, like, So it's a big deal to jump off the cliff, but once you do it, you're giving yourself a chance to live. You're giving yourself a chance to fall into your destiny, and I am really looking forward to it. And I'm really looking forward to cutting that contract and cutting the cord with the government. I'm really happy about myself and happy about the decisions that I've been able to make thus far. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed City Ramble Part 2. And yes, I know, I look like Sean Paul. Okay, love you guys. Ciao.